Back in 2022, I made a video trying to answer the question of if it was possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. DS while always staying crouched. Now, New Super Mario Bros. DS is by far the game in the New Super series I'm the least knowledgeable of, so I made enough factual inaccuracies in that video to where now, 2 years later, I feel obligated to undo what I've done wrong by making this video. This isn't so much of a part 2 or a follow-up as much as it is just a total remake, so don't worry if you haven't seen the original, though I've made the choice to still leave that video public, as I hate privating videos, but I will update the title and description. The rules of this challenge are extremely simple. During gameplay I must always be crouching, unless something forces us out of that animation, like swimming for example. I would also like to mention that I will be allowing myself to stop crouching when entering things, as it doesn't feel in the spirit of the challenge to simply fail because I can't go in a pipe. I will be allowing power-ups, though with the exception of the Mini and Mega Mushroom, as those both stop you crouching. Now, with the Mini Mushroom, that makes sense. You're already like 3 pixels with the Mini Mushroom in this game, crouching seems a little much, though I have no clue why you can't crouch with the Mega Mushroom. If you're wondering how I'll ensure I'm always holding down, I play on the Wii U Virtual Console and tape a rubber band down on my analog stick. Now, the issue with this challenge is it's, kind of really easy. I mean, 1-1 took me an entire single minute to beat. I guess 1-2 has some annoying slopes, kinda, but they're honestly not that bad. Though, it does have our first pipe, so if you want to be pure, then I guess the challenge ends here. But for everyone else, we'll just move on. 1-3 should have been interesting, but turns out these mushroom platforms don't actually count as slopes, so there goes any sense of difficulty. But I genuinely can't think of anything to say for 1 tower and 1-4, and 1-5 uses these bouncy mushrooms which force us out of the crouching animation for almost the entire level, so nothing of note there either. Finally, there's 1 castle, which mostly uses these ropes that also force us out of the crouching animation. And even the parts that don't aren't interesting anyway. Moving on to World 2, I think you're getting the idea that most of the levels are easy, so I'm gonna stop mentioning every single one. Skipping all the way to 2-3, this level wants us to ground pound, which is a bit controversial, as the way I have to do that is by jumping, switching to holding up, then back down. So if you believe that to be cheating, then good for you. I also took the secret exit in this level to skip all the way to the castle, which has nothing of note, so with that done, not even 3 minutes into this video, I can move on to World 3. 3-1 is a water level, so it's unchanged, and then skipping to 3 tower, I need to climb these fences. Now, pipes and ground pounds make sense, but yeah, admittedly I might be stretching the rules a bit here. But before you even have time to process what I just said and yell at me in the comments, look at me zoom in 5-3, whee, isn't that fun? Moving on to 5 castle, and I'm trying my best to make a good video here, but there is nothing interesting in this challenge. 5-3 has conveyor belts, which I can't run on like normal, so when it came to the section where I needed to get under a conveyor, that actually required the slightest amount of effort, which is truly upsetting. But don't panic too much, as, like usual, the boss isn't noteworthy either. Moving on to World 6, this world actually has some interesting levels. Huh? Well, comparatively to the other levels in this challenge at least. In 6-1, there's this wall that seems too high to jump up. Oh no, what will I do? By luring over these bullet bills and jumping on them, it puts me in the normal jumping animation, which allows me to wall jump and progress, which, as sad as it is, that's the most interesting thing that's happened in this challenge up until this point. Then going to 6-tower, the boss here can be rather annoying. Not overly difficult, but annoying. Then going to 6-4, it's very similar to 6-1, as we see another wall that we can't jump up. Unfortunately, unlike last time, there's not a single enemy in this level before this point, so getting up to the normal jumping state like we did last time isn't going to happen. This section really is what you see is what you get. It really is as impossible as it looks. But let's see how me from 2022 handled this. And I can't just play another level as... Yes, you can. Oh yes, a lot of levels in this game are on a split path. This isn't one of them. Just use the cannon in World 5. World, as World 7 requires the Mini Mushroom to
No, it does not!
So unfortunately,
no, just use the cannon in World 5! Use the cannon!
God, that guy's an idiot. Oh my... So we take the cannon in World 5, that takes us straight to World 8. World 8 is spooky, scary, because, like, purple, I guess. Yeah, as you can imagine, the next few levels aren't the most interesting. But in 8 Tower, I got trapped between 2 spike tops, which was rigged, but beside that, nothing of note. We beat a bunch more uninteresting levels, and then we enter the only interesting level in this run, 8-Tower 2. Really? That's the name they went with? Anyway, this level is primarily a snakeblock level, and our first issue comes with this section with a tight, spiked ceiling. As we have to jump to move, we have no choice but to continuously bash our heads into spikes, but unfortunately, doing so is bad for our health. We also need to use a power-up reserve right afterwards, as we have to do the same thing again. Then, after the checkpoint, they decide to introduce spike balls, which I definitely never got stuck on the wrong side of. I also just kept dying in really stupid ways, but in the end, the level was possible, and 8 Castle was never noteworthy. So, yes, you can beat New Super Mario Bros. DS while always crouching, despite what some 13-year-olds would have you try and believe. After a good day of hard work, we let the credits roll and... Who the f*** is that red guy?